Hello, I am Nasu. Welcome to Quality Tales.
Management system requirements. Let's go. So let's first say what is ISO and what is 9001 and what is 2015. So ISO, it is an international quality management system standard used worldwide. What is that meaning? So basically, the organization needed a guarantee, some sort of justification, some sort of something to say, okay, this place has a very good management system, and it's accredited by someone who we all trust, and we all know what they are accredited about and what they are following. And that's when the ISO came in mind. Okay, let's have an ISO standard that can be followed by any kind of organization, by any size of organization. And this organization who's going to take the ISO, we're going to be followed yearly, and we'll make sure that it's following the organization structure right, its purpose is there, it's following its objectives, they have good documentation, and so on and so forth, and we will going to go through it one by one. So that's what's the ISO and why we're going through it. Let's have something a little bit. What is 9001 and what is 2015? Okay, so 9000 in the ISO means management. 9001 means a quality management system. Okay, so the ISO have loads of numbers, not just 9001. It has 27,000, which is the one our company has. This is for data security. It has 45,000, which is human safety. It has 14,000, which is environment. It's very important right now to have it. And it has all sorts of, this is the numbers I'm remembering, and this sum can be taken. Others are just guidelines of how to have it. So the first number before the two dots are the number which represent what kind of ISO it is. Okay, afterwards we're having 2015. ISO structure are there for I don't know, from let's see here, from 1987. So from 1987 it's updated loads of time. It's updated 1994 to 2000, 2008, and 2015. It doesn't really change a lot, but it changed with the idea. So basically in 2015 they said, okay, we're going to remove the word preventive action, for example, that we, after something is done, we're going to stop it to be doing again. After something wrong is done, we'll stop it from doing again. This is the old ISO. The new ISO in 2015 has something called risk-based thinking. So no, now you're gonna have to search for the gaps before it happens, before the NC happens, and you're going to make a risk assessment of what can happen and how you're going to mitigate it before it happens. Evolution, as I said, inspection-based, from inspection-based to process-based to risk-based thinking approach. This is what we have right now. So what I said is inspection-based. In the beginning, it was just 1, 2, 3, 4, and you have to have these 4 qualifications and you're good. And then we said, no, you have to have a process, and the process has to be documented in a certain way, and the process has to be followed, and someone has to be responsible, and so on and so forth. And then finally, as I said, risk-based risking approach, which was 2015. Okay. Let's do next. Okay, so this is last time. Quality management system is a system for managing the company. Okay, So you're going to tell me, okay, I don't understand how are you going to manage as a company. So there is something called Deming cycle. Someone called Deming said, okay, we're going to have 4 parts to play with. Bedica cycle. Plan, do, check, act. So before any process in our company, we're going to plan it at first. Say, okay, I'm going to plan to do this, and this is going to do that, and this is just a plan thing. And then I'm gonna do what I planned. And then very, very important, check. Check is very important. Why? Because it's a part of the continuous improvement. I'm gonna check if my plan is working or not. I'm gonna take a look backwards and say, oh, it's working? Yes, okay. I'm gonna continue and then act. Act is the one where I have my, let's say here in our company, where I have my process published. So everyone can see it. And everyone can do it. Everyone who's outside the stakeholders can have it. So it's published in Confluence. Let's have more details in the Bedica cycle because it's very important. Again, plan, I will establish objectives and resources. I will plan what I'm going to do. Do, I will implement my plan. Check, I will monitor and measure my process. Continuous improvement, very, very, very important step. Act, take action to improve the performance. So I will just act what I did, I will publish what I did, and if I need any improvement, of course, in the future, I will do it. This is the Bedica cycle. This is actually what we had done last time, all of it, but I will take it a little bit quickly this time. Okay, so always imagine a process. Imagine a process by your head. So the process have inputs and have the process in the middle and has outputs. Okay? Inputs. What are the inputs here? And put in mind that the numbers here are the numbers in the 9001. So when we have clause 1, 2, 3, 4, you have it. This is the clauses which are there written there. Let's just tell me something from 1 to 3. It's to identify what you will do. So it's not really the do part. The do part start from, it's the plan part start from 4. So now we're planning. What are we planning? 4. Organization in its context. What is our organization? What is our context of organization? Objective, strategy, and we have to mention, of course, that we're following 9001. So the one who's reading it knows what we are following, and what we are planning to do, what we are about, who hold the responsibilities, what the structures of our organization, and so on. Okay. What we have here, we have needs and expectation and the relevant interest parties. As I said, our interest parties. What are we selling? Who are we selling to? What is the expectations of our customers? What is our expectations to our customer, and so on. And this comes here in customer requirements. Very important. So customer requirements, number 1. Why? Because what I want to get from this 9001 is 2 things. Very important 2 things. Customer satisfaction and product enhancement. So have in mind always why I have a 9001 to have customer satisfaction and product enhancement or product quality. To have the highest product quality. Okay, let's get into the game. Let's get into the plan, do, check, act system. So this is my process. Okay, number 4, we're going into the process. We're written all the organization structure, its context, all that words, and so on. Now we're planning. What are we planning? Let's search here. Where is 5? Here we go. Leadership. Why is 5 in the middle in the leadership? Because you cannot do anything in any organization without the leadership approval, encouragement, and pushing. So role of leadership here in ISO is immense. If the leadership doesn't really follow the ISO. If the leadership doesn't encourage people to follow the ISO, it will not work. So leadership is very important. After we have a leadership approvals, after we have a leadership talking to people and making announcement and so on about it, we will start by our plan. So we're planning now. We're planning what we will do, and we will go into details in this afterwards. Plan, and then clause 7 and 8, support and operation. We have to get into our operations, what we do, how we will support it, how we will measure its performance, who will do what is the process is like, and so on. And then we will go on to our to the next one, and it's performance and evaluation. So performance and evaluation here is I did. What I do is I have to do before the check one. Why? Because I need to know, this is a very, very, very quality part or QC part, is that I need to monitor and evaluate every single step we're taking. I need to have internal audits. I need to monitor if I have machines. I need to evaluate every step that I'm taking all the way in my processes. I need to look back at every code and make sure it's working and so on. Then I will check if I'm doing well. And the improvement part is the last one, which comes as a continuous improvement, which is very, very important. So I have to always be improving my process. It's not just that I will, every 2 years I will say it. No, you will have to improve it but while you're working on it. Okay, so as I said, the results are 2, customer satisfaction and product and service improvement. Very important 2 results. Okay, so let's go in depth a little bit into the eyes. So everyone will see this and will panic attack now. It's very, very detailed, but we will have it a little bit easier. So let's go. We're setting our stage now. So we're having the content table. We're having the introduction. We're having the scope. We're having the normative references. We're having terms and conditions. This is, as I said, the setting stage, the first 3 clauses in ISO. So don't mind them. Okay. We'll start with clause 4, as we said before. So clause 4 is telling us 4.1, we have to understand organization, its context. What is the name of your organization and what you're doing? Understanding the needs and expectations of interested parties. Who's your interested parties? Who's managing? Who's you selling to? And so on. 4.3, this is very important because this is a required document. So anything with blue is a required document. So determining the scope of the QMS. So we're having a scope of the QMS, having its record for QMS and its in influence. Who we are, what we do, what our QMS system, and so on. And then QMS and its processes, we're having as well a process quality management system process. We're having it as a record and a document. Okay. And then we'll go into planning. So planning here, we're having leadership. As I said, leadership has to commit to having a proper quality system. You have to have a policy for quality, so quality policy, and it has to be in a document. And yes, we have a quality policy in a document. You can check it out. And 5.3 is organization roles, responsibilities, and authorities. So who's doing what? Who's responsible for the quality? Who's the manager of quality? And who's doing what in the quality management system of the organization? Okay. And then we're going to plan. Now, in 6, we're starting to plan. How are we going to plan? So, action to address risk and opportunities. First of all, we're going to make a square. And we'll say to each other, okay, this is a risk and this is an opportunity. And you have to identify it. by any way, by any means. The ISO doesn't really tell you do it by this way or by no, 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 no. Just do it. Just have it there. Say what is your risks, what is your opportunities, and how you're going to mitigate your risks, and if your opportunities and if your risks can be as opportunities, and what is your opportunities and how you're going to be used. Again, by any means, by any way, the ISO doesn't really tell you, okay, do it by this way or that way. No, 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 no. You decide what's best for your organization. Okay, next. Quality objectives and planning to achieve them. This is a required document, so it has to be a document. Quality objectives and planning to achieve them. So I need to have every year a quality. Of course, objectives of the quality, it can be for 5 years or so. But you need to every year have a plan for the quality, what I'm going to do with the quality, how many internal audits I'm going to do, how many accreditations do I have, what kind of objectives am I going to do. Like this year, we're having a total quality management system, and we're working on an internal system, and we're having, we got, for example, a new someone who is joining, and so on and so forth. 6.3, planning of a change. Change management is very important. So if you have any kind of a change during the year, you have to monitor it. You have to say, who's going to do the change? What is the change? Why are we doing the change? How it will reflect on the organization? Who's authorized to do the change? Who's authorized to monitor the change? What, and of course, say about all the steps of the change that you're going to have. And afterwards, when you finish with your change, you have to mention what did you have, and now what we're doing. How is the change affecting the organization? Is it a positive change, negative change? If it's a negative change, why, and how to mitigate it? Positive change, good. Let's have it as a best practice. And then for number 7, it's the support. So this is a little bit HR. So what are the resources that's going to support us? And this has to be recorded. Meaning recorded means it has to be not in a document, but it has to be there. So you have to know it in a mail, not in a structured document. You have to have it in a mail, in a paper, in a poster, in anything, but just in a presentation, anything. 7.2, HR برضو, HR as well, competencies. So the ISO auditor, for example, is going to pick, for example, someone who's called Ahmed Abdelghani, and who's going to say, okay, what is his competencies to do the following job? So the role of the HR is telling him, oh, he had computer, he has an engineering degree, for example, or computer science. He had a training in XYZ, and we're giving him a training in XYZ, and so on. This is a competency matrix. Why everyone is competent for his job, and if he's not, and if he's not competent for his job, how are you going to make him competent? Maybe some of the competencies he's missing, and we said no, this is a good guy who's hard worker, and we can use him. Okay, how to make him more competent for his job, or more competent, sorry, for his job. Okay, 7.3, awareness. Again, HR has to spread awareness between different channels, because they are about the human resources. So awareness is very important about the ISO. What is the ISO is about? Of course, with the quality system, they have to have an awareness. They have to provide the channels for awareness and communications and so on. But the info from where? From the quality management system, or from the quality managers that are present there. Communication, you have to provide us with the communication channels. So again, which is very important. I always say we do not work on islands, we work on continent. So all of us are producing one product. All of us are working on the same objective, on the same objective of sequence. All of us have the same strategy. So we have to communicate. HR has to provide communication channels, and each manager has to have communication channels with his team. Documented information. This is mostly about people. So they will tell you about the document information of the, let's say, the stuff that you do with national organizations. So paperwork of the persons, the stuff that it was asked, his health insurance, people health insurance, the people work permit, and so on. The do part, all are operations. Operation doesn't mean that I'm operating in a factory. No, any kind of operation, any kind of a production system. It's very complex and it's very wide, so I'm not going to really go into details, but it's a process-based thinking. So I have to think about it. One, operation planning and control. So I'm saying who's planning for the operation and who's controlling. Requirements for products and services. I have to have someone. If the things I'm producing have some sort of requirement, or I'm buying it from someone from outside, I have to monitor him. I have to do audits for him, audit him before I approve him. So the product he's giving me doesn't really ruin anything in my process. It's very important. This is a recording one. So I have to record. So I'm there 5 times. He's okay. Checklist. This is good. Afterward, design and development of product and services. What kind of product and services? And what you can have a checklist of, okay, I'm doing this, that. That's how my product is going to be. That's how it's going to be described. That's how the managers or the interested party wants, and that's how the interested party wants my products, and how the market needs. I'm doing it in my product. Again, 8.4, control of extremely provided processes, products, and services. This is the quality part. So I have to have an audit, so I can have control over what you provide. I have to see your process. Is it good or not? Your products, is it following? Are you following the processes? And so the products is good. Are your services after selling? Is your services good or not? 8.5, production and service provision. So of course someone is going to be providing a provision, which is a QC most of the time. 8.6, release of product and services. Who's going to release it? And then control of non-conformities output. This is QC as well. So after production, QC examines out my product and see if it's conforming or non-conforming. Conforming, okay, we'll sell. Non-conforming, you will have to investigate and see why it's non-conforming, and how we could and how we could have a plan to inform it. Who did it? Timeline. Have a good timeline of what happened, and see our gaps, and then mitigate our gaps and close it. So we will not have a non-conforming product or output again. Okay. Now we're in number 9. Clause number 9, it's performance evaluation. Performance evaluation or a record. So I monitor, measure, and analyze evaluation. Okay, this is all quality. Record means I'm having numbers. So now I'm monitoring what is happening. So I'm having I monitor or checklist number, checklist measuring anything. Analysis of the product and evaluate if the product is good or not. Internal audit, of course, QA. This is my job to do. So my internal audit will be for 2 things. One, to see if you're following our processes, our internal process. which you wrote it with which every single person in charge of a process actually wrote it. So he wrote, I do so and so and so and so. So I have to see if you actually follow this or not, or if you have a gap and we can go on and close it. And two, because I have external audit that demands me to do it. So to be compliant, compliance means I'm compliant with 27,000. So to take this compliance, I have to follow an internal audit. So the external auditors will see what I did with my NCs, what I did with my CAP. After I do an internal audit, very important to have a management review. Management review is that all the parties or interests or the management will gather together and they will say, okay, so last year we had a problem with 1, 2, 3. And this year we closed these problems and we had our performance this year is XYZ, and our plan for next year is XYZ. So 3 things has to be in the management review. Problems of last year or decisions of last year are closed or done. What did you do this year? How did you do this year? What is your numbers? What is your approach? Did you do the strategies that you did you do? What kind of strategies that you do? What kind of results you have, and so on. And next year, what are you going to do for next year? 3 things, very important 3 things. Last thing, 10, improvement. We have to have a general improvement. We have to have an improvement of non-conformity and corrective action, very important. So how to improve? How to improve is number 1 is generally. So while I'm working on my processes, I have a gap, so I'm improving it. Like I said in the cycle, in the plan, do, check, act cycle. Or I have an internal audit and I have a non-conformity, and I will have a plan to improve to close this non-conformance by corrective action, and then this is an improvement. Or continual improvement, so I'm doing my cycle and I'm improving myself and I'm improving my team, I'm improving my process, and I'm continuing into improvement and so on. Last 3 ones are annexes. So annexes is just for information. So basically they are informative. They tell you the clarification, what's the terminology concepts, what's other standards if you have another system you can do, and so on. Until now, please tell me if you have any question, because I it's a lot, I know. It's a lot to digest. Do you have any question? Hello, are you there?
We're there. No question at all.
Yes, no question. Thank you.
Okay, good. Okay, what is the benefit of ISO? I think we mentioned it before, but we're going to mention it again. So, increase profit and market share. Very important. Effective resources management. Improve our efficiency. So, improve the efficiency not only of the product, improve the efficiency of our processes, of our communication, of our trainings, everything that has to do with our company. Provide consistent and reliable solutions, because we have the plan act, and then we're having the continuous improvement, which is the check one. So you're always having solutions. And the continual improvement, which is very important. If you say to anyone, anywhere, what is ISO, is going to tell you continuous improvement. Anyone who doesn't know anything about ISO knows the continuous improvement. As much as it's just famous as a word, as much as it is what is ISO is. To always improve yourself, improve everything around you, improve your process, improve your life, everything. This is quality. Quality is not quality of your work only. It's a quality of your life. It's a quality of your job. It's a quality of your health. Everything with a quality. Sorry if I'm gonna say something in Arabic now. It's a level of ihsan. If you know what this level of ihsan, it's a very big level. So it's mean excellence. It's vigilance and excellence. It's the utmost of what you can do. So, and you don't need, and it's very, very important to know that you don't need to do it as bulk. No, keep in mind that the cycle you're working has to be one by one. Why? Because if you do it in bulk and then you discovered that it's not working, then you're wasting so much time and effort. But if you do it one by one, little bits, and if you know in the middle that something is wrong or it's not working, you didn't waste all your time and all your energy. You just took the good part and then, okay, something needs to be tweaked a little bit and so on. This is not just, again, it's not just by what you're working. This is for yourself to do small stuff that will improve your life each and every day. So we finished, but we didn't finish it. We always have a fun quiz